Alpha homies, welcome back. Corey here, and we're doing another video. Yes. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice you were there. I couldn't really see you through these glasses, but I gotta make use of these glasses somehow, right? VIP, VIP. If you saw in the title, this title is talking about customer service and hospitality. The differences between where I'm from, Guam, versus where I just came from, Japan. Now the only reason why I'm doing this video is because a couple days ago I went to this sandwich shop, which I will not name because I don't want to get into any beef or anything with the worker there or the sandwich shop or whatever. But anyways, I went to this shop because I was hungry. I was driving around, most places were closed except for this place. So I went there. There was this girl there that was, you know, making the sandwiches and stuff. Although I do appreciate her enthusiasm, her customer service was kind of cringy to me. Now, to preface this, to sort of give you a little prologue, I was the third customer. In front of me were two girls, we'll say of African American descent. Two African American girls who were obviously together, and I have nothing against that, of course. But they're in front of me, and they're waiting to order, and then I was looking down, I wasn't paying attention, I could just only hear the server that's serving them. She got progressively louder. She's like, oh, hey, and stuff like that. It's like, girl, I love your hair. The problem with you people's hair. And I was like, right when I heard it, she said the word you people. I'm like, oh no, don't say it like that. But she was trying to connect with the two ladies because I guess I'm assuming that where this girl came from before, she was working in maybe a salon or something that had to do with hair, maybe nappy or something. But either way, she was trying to connect with these two girls, and the more she connected, the more she started, it felt like assimilating them. Like she started sounding more and more, quote unquote, black. Even though this girl was not black at all. I looked at her and I was like, you kind of look local, like Filipino Chamorro, and you're wearing glasses, so you kind of get that nerdy vibe going, but yet I can feel your neck sort of like, girl, what can I get you? Wait, no problem, you got it. And I'm just like, wow, it just feels weird, that kind of level of service. Anyway, so when it came to me, once again, she's very enthusiastic, talking to me and stuff, but she used this word that I've never really heard projected to my sense of direction, which is the word boss. And once she started using that word, I just started getting more and more cringed out, you know what I'm saying? So for example, I said I would like a footlong on wheat. First thing she said was, you got it, boss. And I'm just like, ooh, kind of hit me in the stomach there. And then once she got the bread working, what kind of vegetable, what would you like in your sandwich, boss? Like she kept using the boss, and I'm just like, please don't use that in my head. Of course, like, sir is fine. Sir is what I was brought up with. Using the word sirs and ma'am, which is a more polite and formal way of talking to your guests, your customers. Using the word boss is impolite, it's informal, it sort of kind of felt condescending. It just didn't feel right. But when she started using that, I just started noticing a disconnect between service, between where I live and where I came from. Like I said, when I came back from Japan, I immediately noticed the differences between hospitality from there and here, mainly at the immigration line. And this has happened twice. The first time I came back from Japan, and then the second time I came back to Japan, I noticed both times there was one guy who's at the immigration or customs line, you know, that checks the passport and whatever, or the immigration forms or whatever, and they always have this attitude. They always give off this attitude. And the second time around, there's no dividers, right? There's a line, right, before you get to where they are at. So, but there's no dividers to separate the line. So it was happening over here to my right, and there's these tourists that were sort of kind of standing next to each other, but they're supposed to stand in a line, right? And the guy was like, yo, hey, there's a line. Form a line. Like he was giving attitude, he was projecting attitude. I'm like, come on, man. We live off of them, their money. That is our #1 economy. Tourism is our #1 economy, and you're already giving attitude to these tourists. And they obviously tourists because they don't know what to do. They're just standing there just waiting because everyone else is waiting. I noticed here on this island that the customer service has ups and downs, and that for me, like based on what I noticed, it's depending on how much a person gets paid, because you don't have the incentives of like service charge or getting tips from credit card or cash. You're not gonna go out of your way to give super duper excellent service. Why? I would be the same way. When I was working at Cold Stone, I was giving my service mediocre, and that was my problem. I know, because my boss and my manager would constantly tell me, yo, your customer service is not up there to where we need it for you to become a manager. That was my main flaw as to why I never became a manager. And now I realize that. Back then, you know, I was thinking, I'm getting paid the same either way. Why do I need to freaking go out of my way if I'm not getting anything back? Of course, Cold Stone has the opportunity to receive cash tips, but are you ever gonna really throw in a 5 or a 10 or a 20? No, unless you're really balling, but most of the times you only throw in like a dollar or whatever coin change you got after paying. That's it. And then at the end of the shift, I'd either leave with between $5 or $20 at the most. If we made $20, that was like a godsend. Like, oh, we did it. We reached the fucking plateau mountaintop. And we'd show other people, like, guess what, guys? We made $20. That was like freaking a rare occurrence if we had to do that, right? But now that I work at a more restaurant that comes with service charge as well as customer tips and stuff, I try to go out of my way to give better service, because now I see it. I see that my flaws was, yes, my service was not great when I was working at Cold Stone. Now I gotta try to bump it up in order to make more money. And the thing is, when I was working at Cold Stone, it wasn't about the level of service or how much I was selling. It was how many hours I'd be working in order to make more money. So if I worked an 8-hour shift, boom, a lot of money came my way. Now that I work at a restaurant, I'm working less hours, but I'm making more money, because it all depends on the service. Your service charge depends on how much you sell. The more you sell, the more money you'll get back. And on top of that, if you show good service while upselling, customers will take notice of that and give you some extra money for your efforts. Wow, what a concept, right? Amazing. Yeah, that's what I think is the problem here on Guam, is that there is a disconnect between, you know, different part of service. You got your gas station attendants, you got your fast food workers, you got your retail servers or your retail associates, things like that. Everything is different based on how much money people make. Like I said before, when I was working at Cold Stone, I didn't really care, because I'm making the same money no matter what effort I'm giving. If I give more and still make the same amount, I'm just wasting energy, right? Anyways, leading on to Japan. When I was going to Japan, everywhere I go, the level of service felt consistent. Some places would be higher, but there would be no place that dipped lower than the middle, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas here, it's up and down. Here, it's like, whoop, and then back to regular, whoop, back to regular. So you see, the difference I'm trying to make here is that no matter where I went, they got paid the same amount, but they still gave great customer service, or at least good customer service, or it felt like they were patient, they were calm, they were polite. Even with somebody who does not speak the language, they were patient, they were polite, and I felt that. I didn't felt like being rushed like some people do here. You know, even at the sandwich shop, I was feeling rushed by the person helping me. It's like, what can I get you? What would you like? What kind of bread? How big? Blah, 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 blah. It's like they were rushing me, you know? It felt like I was being rushed, but not when I was in Japan. No matter where I went, they were calm, they were respectful, they were polite. The number one thing is that they don't even accept tips there. It's like if you try to give them a tip, they will feel bad about it. They will actually run out and give it back to you. Even if you say no, keep it, they'll be like, no, take it. It's disrespectful. So you're not supposed to tip when you're in Japan. It's frowned upon, is what I'm trying to say. And that just blows my mind. It's like, wow, that level of commitment to service where they reject tips. It's just crazy to think, right? Growing up in this capitalistic society that we live in. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is, Guam, I don't know, like, it just feels like we're inconsistent, is what I'm trying to say. But I understand, I've been there. I've been at Cold Stone, and I've been to Chuck E. Cheese, and I've been in Churrasco's, and now my current job. I've been in different places, and I understand where it would come from, where like, I'm getting paid the same either way. Why do I need to give more energy? I felt that before. So I've been there and back. So I really hope that this island, which thrives on tourism and military spending, we don't bite the hand that feeds us. You know what I'm trying to say? We don't put any sort of bad thoughts from the tourists when they leave. It's like, oh man, Guam isn't so great, man. They gave me so much attitude. They weren't helpful. They just like shoved me along, you know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't do that for our island. We as an island, like we depend on these refund checks sometimes, you know what I'm saying? when we shouldn't. It's like the money is so hard here sometimes. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. I'm just trying to say that, you know, I hope we can do better. That way, you know, people will talk about us more, leave more comments, positive comments on like TripAdvisor and things like that, where it brings in more people, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, that's just a little thoughts that I had just recently when I came back. I was like, that guy's kind of mean, and this girl's kind of too much. But whatever, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching with me, guys. Thanks for sticking around, listening to my stupid old rant about service, the differences between here and there. I'm not trying to say that there's, you know, here is horrible or bad, but there's just certain places where, you know, it's like they don't really care, and I understand why. It's like I said it before, it's like I'm getting paid the same either way. Why do I need to, you know, go the extra mile, right? I understand. We should do something about it, right? If we really want to promote this island of its beauty and its wonder and hospitality, we should make like incentives for something like, or something like that, to really make the hospitality and service level, you know, the same or better, not worse. Training could help. I mean, that's what Cold Stone does. They pick out the right types of people and they train them. Some places feel like they just hire whoever applies. No experience necessary. Just we need somebody. I don't care, anybody. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. If I didn't go to that sandwich shop, I may probably never make this video. But yeah, that girl just freaked me out. It's like, what are you doing? Weird. Anyways, as always, love, peace, and chicken grease. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts. Let me know, you know, I could be entirely wrong, but this is just what I've been seeing lately wherever I go, so.